Hello friends, Ben here for Giant Loop, and I'm about to head out on my very first Backcountry Discovery Routes adventure. I'm going to head out and do the Washington BDR with some friends. I'm taking my Norden 901, and today I want to show you how I'm going to get all this camping gear, tools and whatnot on the Norden using some of my favorite Giant Loop luggage. This is all the camping gear I'm taking on my BDR adventure. We're going to be living off the bike for a week, so I've got all my camping gear and whatnot, and we'll buy food and stuff as we go, so I don't have a ton of food, and I've got a refillable water bottle, but this is all my camping gear. I'm taking my Tillamook bag and my Around the World Panniers, so I have about 150 liters of storage, so I maybe have a few luxuries with me, and I'll kind of show you how it all fits together as I pack it in the bags, but let's do that now. First things first, gotta put the bags on the bike. These are my Giant Loop Around the World Panniers. Like I said, about 50 liters here. What I have on the back is my Giant Loop quick release mounts. These are the pannier mounts, and I'm just gonna put them on my Hepco and Becker pannier racks really quickly and easily. Just goes right on. Ta-da, bag mounted. Now I'm gonna do the other side. All right, there you go. I'll also be running my Giant Loop Tillamook bag, which I will put on last, but let's fill these panniers first. Basically, I've got it set up this way. The left side is tools, my chair, my table. The right side is cooking and personal items, and then the tent, sleeping bag, sleeping setup, that all goes in the top bag. So let's start by putting everything we need to put in the right bag here. I'll show you what's going in. Mess kit, cooking kit, X-pot, plastic plate, coffee cup, that's all in here. This is what I call my possibles pouch. It's not actually a Giant Loop possibles pouch, but this has got just all my incidentals for camping. I actually have a whole video for this on my channel that you can check out, but it's got my knife, batteries, coffee stuff, fire starting stuff, bug spray, poop trowel, toilet paper, stuff like that. That all goes in here. This is actually a Giant Loop tank bag dry pod, but inside here is my food and my jet boil and my coffee and a couple dehydrated meals and an extra canister of fuel. I don't need a dry pod to keep this stuff dry, but it's just really nice to be able to separate it out from the rest of the bag, so I can just grab this when I need it. I would totally show you down in the bag, but it's black and it's just hard to see on the camera. So you're just gonna have to trust me, this is all going in there. A couple other cooking / personal items on this side. This is a personal hygiene bag, contact solution, glasses, toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, stuff like that. That just goes right in here. GSI Outdoors cooking kit. There's like a spatula and tongs and stuff in here. Little cutting board. That goes in this side. That's my bear spray for reasons. A couple more just sort of personal. Again, these are not essentials, but that is a humidor with cigars. A little bit of whiskey. In my Moto Camp Nerd flask. Put that in here. This is another tank bag dry pod, but I've got my clothes in here. That should compress down nicely. But that's it for that side. So these bags are cool because they have Velcro and there's a magnet here, magnet closure. See that? Help you line it up. And then we'll just roll it down and cinch it down. Should be good to go on this side. I always usually like to, I don't do this till the end because I may find things that go on one side or the other, but just for demonstration purposes. So pro tip, this strap here that holds the roll top down, if you can run it behind your pannier rack, it gives you just a little bit more stability. Always like to find little opportunities like that when I'm loading these bags super full. I'm gonna do it on this side too, and we give you plenty of slack and plenty of strap to do that with. Okay, that's done. And then top flap, and if you need to, you can put something else underneath this top flap, a chair or cooler or something like that. We give you lots of extra straps for that too. And I've got a whole video on what you should do with the extra straps if they're indeed extra, which you can check out. See, I've got tons of slack here. So lots of options with this luggage, but we're just gonna use it as intended this time. And we're really gonna give these a good tighten to compress that bag of clothes on top. Let's keep everything nice and tight. All good, okay. And the extra strap here, you got a bunch, you can just tuck it in to the flap. I've never had it come out one time, so that works. So you can see here on the back, we got this dry bag. It's a great place for something that you want to keep dry separately or something you want to be able to access quickly. I just put my first aid kit in there, but since I have a little extra room in there too, I'm just putting my thermocell. This is just a battery operated mosquito repeller. I'm putting it down in the bottom because I have the space, and then my Survivor first aid kit on top. That way it's quick and easy to get to on the trail side or wherever I need it. If I'm chopping wood and I cut myself, I can get to it without having to dig through my bags. I know right where it is. So that's that side. And then the front, there's a front drawstring pouch on these. I actually like to leave at least one open in case I need to grab a soda or something along the way. And then it kind of becomes my garbage receptacle. So I got a couple garbage bags in there while we're camping and stuff, just so I make sure I pack everything out. The easier it is to throw stuff somewhere that I know I can quickly get rid of it when I find a garbage can, you know, the easier it is to pack stuff out and not make a mess in the woods. Okay, let's pack the other side. So this side becomes tools and fire processing stuff. I got a little grill that goes in here. I'll show you everything that's going in. So you always want to put the heaviest stuff at the bottom of the bag. And the heaviest thing I have is this toolkit. It's actually in a Giant Loop fender bag, which is a nice way to just kind of keep it separate, safe, and secure. And if I wanted to move it to the fender or strap it down somewhere else, I could, but I got a full toolkit. My Baja no pinch is in here. And that is going down in the bottom of the bag because it's one of the heaviest things. The lower you can get the most weight, the easier it is to handle the motorcycle. So always try to get the weight low. And that's why I don't put heavy things in the top bag. Heavy things always go in the panniers. Tusk tire repair kit. These are tubeless tires, so I've got puncture repair and CO2 cartridges and everything in here. This is actually my battery jump pack, also a tool. So I'm also putting the tools at the very bottom of the bag because hopefully I don't need to get to them at all, or at least not quickly. And then I always like to carry, this is a zigzag bag, Giant Loop zigzag bag, but it's full of all my straps. So I got, you know, some pronghorn straps, I got a Giant Loop cinch strap, there's even some rock straps in there. So if I busted a strap on a bag, which is unlikely given these bags, but it is possible, I have a replacement strap. If I want to get something bulky or heavy, if I'm trying to haul firewood on the bike, these straps are invaluable. I find a ton of uses for them, so I always try to take this bag if I have room, and I do this time. One of my favorite things about these round the world bags is just how they're big, they're massive, cavernous. This is a Tusk compact camp chair, but it's the large version, and it will actually fit in here sideways. So I can just put it in on top of everything I just put in there, down in the bag sideways. I like to put bulkier items in the top bag, but this is heavier than my sleeping stuff, and so I like to put it in here. And the other thing is, this is a little aluminum end table, also foldable. It's also gonna go in this bag sideways. These bags are so big, that's why the round the worlds are my favorite. So it's just in there right on top of everything else I just put in there. And these don't weigh a ton, so it helps me balance out the weight from the other side. And then a couple more things for this side. There's my little Otzi flat pack grill, and it'll go right down the front of this bag. On the outside, I should say, not the front. Small folding saw, Silky Gum Boy's my favorite. I have room, so I'm taking it. Gonna process some firewood, and a hatchet. Also for processing firewood, cutting down small trees, whatever I need to do. Okay, and I have room to spare in here. Can you see? Look how much space I still have in this bag. It's a ridiculous amount of space. So I'm actually just gonna throw, this is an extra jacket. It's actually my mid-layer jacket that I can wear under my riding gear, but it's also just a good hanging around camp in the morning or the evening jacket. All of that in there, and then I'm gonna seal this bag up. Same drill as the other side. Try to get 3 rolls. Sometimes you can get a little more. It's not very full like this. Yeah, I got tons of extra space, which is great for picking up dinner, beverages along the way, whatever I might want. Same thing, I'm trying to loop this around the pannier rack in the back and tighten it down. Same over here, same drill. Just putting it right behind and around. And that just gives me a little bit of extra stability. Too much stability is not a thing. So there's 1, 2, this side's a little, it's less full. It's way less full over here. This is always a dance that you continue to adjust as you go, but I feel very confident getting started on the trip with this setup. Yeah, I got a lot of extra slack on this side. A lot. And then again, just tuck these in. That's what I always do. Use the keeper, but tuck the rest in. And it's going nowhere. Okay, and I also have a dry bag on this one. So into this dry bag, I'm gonna put my camera gear. Basically stuff that I'll need, but I won't need while I'm sitting on the bike. If I have to get off the bike to change a battery, it's fine if it's in here. My mini tripod that I'll only need at camp. And if I do some ride-by shots, and I actually have a little bit more room, I'm gonna put my 1 battery pack in there, and I will alternate these because one will be charging in the tank bag basically at all times, but I have one that's going in there right now, so There you go. And all my camera gear is safe and dry. And my favorite is that when it's on the back like this, it's not really vulnerable if I drop the bike on the side, because everything in this bag will protect it. It's not gonna get smashed. It's not gonna have the weight of the bike on it. So another good reason to put valuables in these pouches. Now the Tillamook bag. The trick with the Tillamook bag is I like to stuff it before I attach it to the bike. Otherwise, you end up doing some stuff twice. It's helpful if it's full when you put it on. So I just seal up one end. It's double-ended dry bag, super useful. And I'll just put everything in from this end and then we'll attach it to the bike. So my tent, it's gonna go in this same bag, but it's actually set up in the backyard because I just sprayed it with permethrin, so just assume it's here. It would go into this bag. But on the top bag like this, we highly recommend your bulky, lightweight items like sleeping pad, sleeping bag, your tent. This is an extra blanket. You want to keep the weight down low as much as possible, and some of this stuff is too big to go in regular panniers anyway, so it's all my soft, light stuff that goes up top. And the other reason I've set things up the way I have is I want my whole camp set up in this bag, so that when we stop for the night, all I have to do is unclip this, this, and this. I can get out my tent, my sleeping bag, get all that set up before I need to dive into the other bags for anything. I don't want the stuff I'm going to use first or most often buried in either of these panniers. So it all goes in the top case, and this top bag just unclips and I could carry it wherever I am. So if I'm set up for some reason really far from my bike, I can just unclip this. It's just 4 clips, take the whole bag off over to where I'm setting up, dump it out, really just dump it out, set up my whole tent. It's easy. So highly recommend that setup. It just so happens that most of your bedding items are also your lightweight bulky items. So this is a quilt, my version of a sleeping bag for this trip. It's going in there. I have so much extra room, I brought my big sleeping pad, and my very comfortable sleeping pad. I figured, why not? I've got the space. Okay, pretend I'm putting my tent in here, because I will be when I go. And I've got a bike packing tent that fits in here really well. Get out gear, this is an extra blanket that turns into a poncho. Multiple purpose stuff is always good when you're camping. This is my Nemo pillow, my favorite inflatable pillow of all time. This is just an extra tarp for shade, or if somebody needs a makeshift shelter or whatever. Camp shoes, these are Merrell slippers, but they're really sturdy and great unless it's raining, but it won't be on this trip. Supposedly, hypothetically, theoretically. We can dream, can't we? And the only other 2 things that have to go in here are, this is my second pillow, I always have 2, and this is a backup, so if one loses the ability to hold air, I've always got one. And this is my air mattress inflator slash flamethrower fire starter. So that's going in there. And there's plenty of extra room, so my tent will fit. I've already test fit all this, just trust me. But this bag, same as the other. One pro tip here is your tendency is going to be to roll it up like this, but technically if you do that, you're creating a channel where water can get caught if you're running it when it's raining or whatever. So it's actually better to roll it under like this. It's a little bit more awkward, but once you get the first roll or 2 in, you always want to try to get 3 rolls for full waterproof. And you see I've got a bunch of extra space here, so plenty of room for my tent. Clip it on here, and then we'll attach this to the bike. I've said it about 400 times, but this Tillamook bag is one of my favorite pieces of soft luggage because it's so versatile. You've got these 4 clips that can go anywhere on your bike. It's easy to mount on every motorcycle. I've never failed to get it on a bike. It's like a soft top case. So I'm just gonna go around the pannier rack, and I'm gonna be careful to go behind this rail so that it can't slide forward on me. Not that it's likely to do that. Just get it clipped on. It's as fast as that. And if you're real slick, you can take this tail end and run it back through the loop to hold it, keep it from flapping, but otherwise you just tie it off. That's what I always do. Same thing on this side. And yeah, the turn signals are funky. These racks are actually made for the European Norden, which doesn't have these stupid, huge incandescent turn signals, so I gotta deal with that later, but just know that's not exactly normal. I'm gonna do the same on this side, just to the front of the pannier rack. Super easy. I can move this from bike to bike, no problem. Okay, tighten those down once you got them on. This thing goes nowhere. Very, very cool. One of my favorite setups, like I said. And when I do this for real, I run this tail end back through that, so it won't be flapping at all. That just leaves the tank bag, which for me, because I do a lot of filming, is where my handheld camera goes, my GoPro battery. I've got one battery pack, which I'll show you. I've got this very big Omni-Charge battery pack, which basically I charge it in the tank bag all day, and then I charge everything at night, and then I put this back in the tank bag and let it charge all day while I'm riding. So this is a compact handy. It's like 20,000 milliamp hours, so it's pretty good. It can charge everything a couple times, but that all goes in the tank bag, and then odds and ends, you know how tank bags are. I've got, you know, extra contacts, sunglasses, stuff like that in there. So that's it for for packing up my BDR gear and the bags I'm using. Hopefully this setup works well for me. I'm certain that it will. I'll link all these bags in the description below. I'll link my gear in the description below if you're curious to check any of that out. And I'll link the video I made for my channel where I ran down all the gear, what it all is and why I brought it all. But this is just a packing video. Oh, I forgot one thing. This is my Sea to Summit 4-liter pack tap, AKA the Pacific Northwest Green Manta Ray. And I've already pre-attached a Giant Loop cinch strap to the top here. These are inexpensive and they work really well, but I'm just gonna run this. So this will be full of water. Imagine it's full of water, but this is gonna be how I carry my water right on top. I don't really like to put it in my bags in case it leaks or something, because waterproof bags are waterproof both ways. And so if water gets in there, it's real hard to get it out. But it'll go right on top. I will just cinch it down and it'll be fuller, so it'll be a little tighter, and I've done this plenty of times. This goes nowhere. Plenty of ability to just hold that down tight. That's it. That is my setup. So please consider subscribing to the channel for more gear overviews, how-tos, and other great content. Don't forget that YouTube subscribers save 10% with promo code SUBSCRIBER. All of our products are backed by our limited lifetime warranty, and all orders over $75 from GiantLoopMoto.com ship for free. Thank you for watching. Go light, go fast, go far with Giant Loop.